So at the weekend there, another win for Newcastle. They've taken a giant step towards Premier League safety. 14th, who would have thought it? But that's where they are. Not completely out of potential trouble, but more or less 7 points clear of the drop. Unbeaten in 8 league games. I mean, when you think of it, Simon, 100 million was made available to Eddie Howe in the window, and he darn near used every cent of it. Is their January spend an unfair caveat to Eddie's work since he's arrived? I mean, Howe has got them motoring, hasn't he?
Is it an unfair caveat in terms of we're only attributing their success to the fact that they've spent 100 million?
Exactly that.
No, it's not an unfair caveat. It's a fact. The fact that he's been able to buy sensibly and then manage the team is also a fact as well. So one without the other. Would he have been successful with the current crop of players? No. Did he need to spend this 100 million, or best part of it, to put himself in a position to give himself a chance? And we spoke about this on a number of occasions. We all said, I think, that Newcastle would not get relegated if they spent a significant amount of money in this window. Is Eddie Howe the answer to them in the longer game? I suspect not. But here and now, you have to give praise. If you cannot manage a team that's got so much feel-good momentum about it, with the crowd being so relieved they've got rid of Mike Ashley, with the feeling around this club so motivated, and the opportunity to invest in the market to be able to give yourself the tools, if you can't have got it going, then you shouldn't have been able to walk through the door in the first place. So, on one hand, he deserves praise because he has got it going, but he wasn't brought in there and given £100 million to spend, so he didn't get it going. So, I'm kind of in the territory of whatever I say, certain Newcastle fans think that I'm not going to give credit to Amanda, or I'm not going to give credit to Eddie Howe because I have this particular thing against Newcastle. It's not true. He's been given £100 million. Newcastle spent the best part of £120 million this year with the signing of Joe Willock at the beginning of the season. They shouldn't have been in the position that they're in. Some of that was down to Steve Bruce. Some of it was down to the fact around the club. Yeah. Some of it is down to the players. Yeah. All of those things now, Ashley's gone, Bruce has gone, the players have been supplemented. So there is no landscape where Eddie Howe shouldn't have been able to pick up the cudgel and given himself an opportunity. And also, by the way, the bottom of the division is rubbish.
Yeah. Do
you know what?
Would he have done it without the funds that were made available to him, Danny?
Possibly, yeah. I think he's actually superior.
You reckon?
I don't know for sure, but I'm saying that let me finish. So there's been some things he's done that I've been really impressed with. If you look at bringing Shah back into the central defensive areas, I know he's had the privilege of partnering with a new centre-half in Dan Burn who's done well.
Who's been very good.
He's continually played Joe Linton and evolved him in that midfield role and stuck with that. He's left Shelvey in, who's been actually playing out of his skin better than he's played in a long time, even though he spent God knows how much on Gomeres.
Agreed.
So he's given Shelvey the responsibility and left him in there when he could have dragged him out and bring the new signing in.
Yeah.
Fraser, who was not everybody's cup of tea, and for obvious reasons, on and off the pitch, he's not pulled up any trees. Obviously knows him from Bournemouth, so that's one thing. But he's kept him in the team. He's got him sharp. He's been contributing the last few weeks. I didn't expect that. Even Murphy, he's playing at a level. I mean, his performance at West Ham when he come in for St. Maximum, he lost Trippier. St. Maximum not been playing. Wilson's not been there. He hasn't started Guimaraes. Only Dan Burn and Matt Targett really have been playing consistently the last few weeks when they've been getting all the wins. Yeah. So he has definitely evolved the players who were already there. That I have no doubt about. Yes, it helps when you can bring in a couple, but he did lose them quite quickly.
Isn't it amazing how times change, though, Simon? At one stage, it looked like Unai Emery. And Unai apparently, reportedly, had this extremely impressive Zoom interview, which blew them all away. He's the man. Then it was actually count me out. And then Amanda Staveley saying when she spoke to the Financial Times Business of Football Summit, Unai had a good name and a reputation. But would he have been able to get up to speed without the infrastructure? I mean,
I'm not sure what point she's making.
She then says it would have been wrong. We made the right decision with Eddie.
You didn't.
You were going to make a decision with Unai.
You didn't make the right decision.
Sliding doors.
Unai Emery was pulled out by his chairman and told you're not going to be doing anything of the sort, if you remember that. And they would have had Unai Emery in their dugout if it wasn't for Unai Emery turning them down. They've lucked out and lucked in on Eddie Howe, and he's come in. I'm not a huge admirer of his. I thought we bottled it with a Celtic job, and I think he's okay. But I think currently what he's doing at Newcastle is decent and what he should be doing. You've got huge momentum there. The feel-good factor of this club is incredible. If you can just bottle a little bit of that
Yeah.
and direct it, which he's been able to do. You know, I'll make this argument. Newcastle were drawing a significant proportion of their games, and the margins that they were getting between winning and losing games. I remember who took over when Bruce walked out the door. It was the assistant coach, Graham
Jones.
Graham Jones, and they drew 1-1 away to Brighton.
I was
and
there.
they deserved to win that game. And,
Yeah.
the boy was pulled down as he went through, Callum Wilson, and they
Yeah.
would have won that game.
Yeah.
There were margins away. Now also. Again, people are not going to like this, but look at some of the games that have dropped in their laps over the last 4 or 5 weeks that have been made for them. Leeds have been, to some extent, made for them. Brentford haven't been in a particularly good run of form. Neither had Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Brighton have been off the path for the last few weeks. But irrespective of all of that, the things that Danny says is absolutely right, because everyone said that if you didn't have Callum Wilson, you're going to be in trouble. They haven't had Callum Wilson.
Then they lost
They've got
Trippier.
better.
They also lost Trippier and St. Maximum. And the other thing is, I have to say, the first few games, let's not forget, they got hammered at Leicester. They lost another game. I can't think who that was to. And I was sat on this show talking about how naive the 4-4-2 was that he'd been playing. Why
They
was
got
he
hammered by
doing
Leicester, Liverpool, and Man City all in
early on,
succession.
which is tough games.
Which is,
but,
of course, understandable.
But I no way saw 5 wins in 6 coming.
No
way.
They're
No.
away now. They're away now.
They're away. They're
They're
done.
away now.
They're done.
I just
away.
wonder if Amanda.
So credit
needs
where
to-
credit's due.
And that's very
And
true.
forget Amanda saying that she was always number one. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's
That's
you know,
right too.
it's less. Less is more. More is less. I don't know. I think Amanda, when it comes to articulating herself, maybe should pull it in a bit. We talk to
that's
Eddie
experience as
multiple
well, isn't it?
times a day. I'm fascinated by what he does. He's so detailed, so hardworking. You don't know when you're interviewing someone what they're going to be like, but he's got huge integrity. Would love Eddie to be the next Alex Ferguson.
Well, that's
We
just-
know Eddie has the ability to keep us up.
But that's positivity, and you know you can't suggest that someone that's brimming with enthusiasm. She wants Newcastle to be successful. It's a huge opportunity for her. She's been put in a situation by the Saudi ownership, and she's got an opportunity. So, what would you rather have? Her be downplaying the situation? Yes, of course, perhaps less is more. But the bottom line is that Newcastle are up and away.
Yeah.
The job has been done, almost.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe is in situ. She'll come to look back on those words in 18 months' time when she fires him, which she will, if she's still in situ herself. And she'll look back on them and think like we all did. I can remember appointing a manager, and I look back on those interviews now and I cringe and go, Jesus Christ, he was such a wally. Why did I even say these things? I become a wally by association.
What was the worst thing he said?
Oh, lots of things. The list is
Well, you're
endless. It's like
damned
the
if
Magna
you do and
Carta.
damned if you don't.
No, absolutely. And of course, we're looking at Amanda and we're saying that she says this and she says that. Well, you know, good luck to her. If she's going to own the words that she says, then she's going to be made accountable for them. And the one thing you can't have, and one thing you can't buy is experience. And she'll look back on things over a period of time and go, I won't say that. I'll say this in future, or I'll say nothing.
Come on,
because-
what's the worst thing the guy said to you? Come on.
No, I don't need to. The length and breadth of what he did and didn't say was
it like-
absolutely ridiculous.
Let her
Mike and
enjoy-
Mr. Jordan, you and I might come to like each other. Was it something like that? No. All right.
Let her and Newcastle enjoy the moment, because I tell you what, when they were
Yeah,
walking
indeed.
off the pitch after hardly having a win under Howe and losing at home to Cambridge in the FA Cup, wasn't a great feel-good factor
That's
around
true.
the place.
You wanted Newcastle to be relegated, didn't you?
So did you.
What an ugly thing for you to have said, Dan.
Oh, okay. Amidst this finger pointing, it's 11:45.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.